Richard O'Brien and the Rocky Horror Picture Show. The 1975 film The Rocky Horror Picture Show was directed by Jim Sharman, but the screenplay is written by both Sharman and Richard O'Brien. The film is based on Richard O'Brien's 1973 musical stage production, The Rocky Horror Show, which premiered at the Royal Court Theatre in London. The show was a hit. It starred Tim Curry and Richard O'Brien himself. O'Brien took the music and story and turned it into a motion picture. O'Brien is a transsexual man who inspired generations by the positive messages in his work. The cult classic, The Rocky Horror Picture Show, served as an influential form of media by exploring themes of sexuality and identity which were controversial for challenging the conservative views of society during that time. O'Brien was highly influenced by the classic sci-fi movies of his time, such as the productions by the Hammer Films Company, who made movies like Dracula, The Mummy, and the Frankenstein series. He was also influenced by filmmaker Ed Wood, who was famous for his B-movies, also known as low-budget movies, in the comedy, horror, and science fiction genres. Those genres are also a part of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. The film was released during the sexual revolution and the gay liberation movement that went on from the 1960s to the 1980s. The LGBT community were starting to take a stance on the discrimination on them from society, politicians, and law enforcement. The gay liberation period began in 1969, when cops raided the gay bar in New York City, the Stonewall Inn. The cops took anyone who was dressed as the opposite gender to jail. This began the Stonewall riots of 1969. Richard O'Brien felt this type of discrimination as he was growing up in London, where being homosexual was illegal until 1967. Living in a world where he was not accepted was a struggle for O'Brien.
I shut down when I was about 6.5. Lived inside my head for most of my life.
That was until Rocky Horror, where he learned to be open about his views and identity through songs and fictional characters. Characters such as the protagonist, Dr. Frankenfurter, a transsexual mad scientist.
I'm just a sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania.
Before this film, there was never a trans person as a lead in a major production. This was something new to the public, and many did not know how to react to it. It was not until 1977 that it gained popularity, as theaters would play the movie at midnight, and fans of the film came in large groups to watch and also participate by dressing up as the characters to dance and sing along with the movie. Songs in the film, such as Don't Dream It, Be It, express positive messages. This song tells the audience to love yourself and to be yourself. This film was significant during this time period because it got audiences to talk about transsexual people in a positive way. The iconic film is still popular today. Movie theaters usually play the movie at midnight, and audiences come out to enjoy the classic film. It is still an interactive experience for fans who come dressed up to perform songs, just like the fans did in the 70s. TV shows and movies today pay tribute to the classic by making their interpretation of the film. In 2010, the show Glee paid their tributes to the film by creating their own episode titled The Rocky Horror Glee Show.
I'm just a sweet transvestite from sensational Transylvania.
The 2012 film The Perks of Being a Wallflower also pays tribute to the film.
Don't dream it.
On October 20th of 2016, a remake titled The Rocky Horror Picture Show, Let's Do the Time Warp Again was released.
Let's do the time warp again.
Laverne Cox, who plays Dr. Frankenfurter in the remake, is a famous actress and famous LGBT advocate who was personally inspired by O'Brien's work.
It spoke to me in such a profound way, and it became a personal mantra of mine. And it's part of the catalyst for me becoming more myself. So this movie and our version of it is really about realizing all of that even more.
Overall, Richard O'Brien has inspired numerous people in the last 40 years with his film, The Rocky Horror Picture Show.